After 27 years of marriage, Helen thought the hardest part of her life was over when she signed the divorce papers and walked away from the man she had once trusted with everything. She didn't ask for revenge. She didn't ask for his money. She only wanted peace. Her ex-husband, Richard, a wealthy real estate developer known for his charm and ruthless ambition, told everyone Helen was pretending to be sick so she could gain sympathy and receive a larger settlement. Helen had recently been diagnosed with a serious heart condition, and the stress of the divorce left her weak and exhausted. But instead of showing compassion, Richard laughed. "She's faking it," he told their friends. "She's always been dramatic." Helen tried to ignore the whispers and focus on rebuilding her life. She moved into a small apartment, sold her jewelry to cover medical bills, and spent her evenings alone with old photographs and memories of the children she had raised mostly by herself. The pain was not only in her chest, but in her heart. She had supported Richard when he had nothing. She worked 2 jobs while he built his company, skipped vacations so he could invest, and stood by him through every setback. Now, he was treating her like a liar. Bound by law, they submitted their findings to the court. During the final hearing, Richard sat confidently beside his attorney, expecting Helen to be exposed. Helen arrived quietly, her hands trembling as she held a folder of medical reports. Then the judge began reading from the investigator's report. The courtroom fell silent. The evidence showed that Helen's illness was genuine, but Richard had concealed over $18 million in assets and committed tax fraud for years. Richard's face turned pale. His attorney lowered his head. Helen stared in disbelief as tears filled her eyes. The judge awarded Helen a substantial settlement, enough to pay for her treatment and secure her future. Richard was ordered to pay penalties, and federal authorities opened a criminal investigation. The empire he had built on deception began to collapse in a single afternoon. Outside the courthouse, Helen sat on a bench and cried, not because she had won, but because the truth had finally been seen. For the first time in years, she felt lighter. Her children embraced her, ashamed that they had doubted her when Richard spread lies. Helen looked up at the sky and whispered, "I never wanted his downfall. I only wanted the truth." Months later, after successful surgery, Helen started a small foundation to help divorced women facing financial and emotional abuse. She shared her story with others, reminding them that dignity is stronger than deception and that patience can reveal what anger tries to hide. Richard had spent thousands trying to prove Helen was lying. Instead, he exposed the greatest lie of all, his own.